Those of ears to hear, let them listen. So in chapter 10 of Acts, Peter gets called to the house of a man named Cornelius. And as Peter entered the house, Cornelius met him and fell at his feet in reverence. But Peter made him stand up. "Stand up," he said. "I am only a man myself. You are well aware that it is against our law for a Jew to associate or even visit a Gentile. But God has shown me that I should not call anyone impure or unclean." The significance of all of that. First off, this man Cornelius, he was a Gentile, right? He was a Roman centurion in the Italian regime. Basically, he was a higher up in the heart of Rome, not just some centurion from Galilee, not like, you know what I mean? Like he very, very, very high up in the military. He was a God-fearer, okay? That's important to know. He believed in Yahweh. That's why he was able to receive that vision. He just wasn't a convert to Judaism, and like, who can blame him, you know? But the Jews considered the Romans unclean. They considered anybody else that wasn't Jewish unclean. And that's not what they were supposed to do. Ever since God first brought them out of Egypt, they told them to be a nation of priesthoods, people who spread his name. But they never did that because they wanted Yahweh all to themselves, right? Ironically, God was able to create converts despite all of that, like with Rahab and Ruth, and his name will never not be spread. But they saw them as unclean. And why did they see the Romans as unclean? They saw them as unclean for a multitude of reasons, but a big reason why they hated them so much was because they were oppressing the Jews. And that just got me to thinking of like, who do we see as unclean today? Lots of the times we'll see it as people who party a lot, because we'll just be like, oh, they're just here to feel good about themselves. If they're at church, they don't feel good about themselves, okay? Or we'll see it in other religions that are like, that don't get it. But we get it. We know the truth because we're Christian. Jesus never once tried to make anybody Jewish. And that should tell us something. Becoming a Christian doesn't really mean all that much, because that's not going to save you. Being Jewish didn't save them. That's what Jesus' whole message was, right? Your relationship with Jesus, if you know who God is, that's what saves you. And if you do the will of God, that's what saves you. So the Romans oppressed Jews, okay? So who in our lives have oppressed us? People who've done us wrong. People who we kind of have a little bit of a chip on our shoulder towards them, because like that's how the Jews treated the Romans. They had a chip on their shoulder because they didn't like taking the taxes. They didn't like how they had power over them. And we do the same thing with people who've wronged us, or situations who have wronged us. We refuse to go back to those situations. We refuse to talk to those people, right? No one is unclean. That's what people